Hey folks, welcome back. My name's Linus, and I want to make a video today and talk about in the game Adventure Survival. Sort of not exactly the first step, sort of the pre-first step, the prequel. The very first thing you'll need to do to join the game is do a little brainstorming and try to decide what kind of what kind of creature you want to be. And I've got another video that goes in the technical aspects of creating a character. But I want to talk a little bit about kind of what might go through your brain when you think about what kind of creature you might want to pretend to be. So you might notice I'm in the same spot that I usually am, but it's everything kind of arranged things so I could be sitting down. I actually went for a really long run yesterday, which felt really good. My legs are tired, and usually I make my videos kind of standing up, but today I set things up so I can have a little chat while I sit. Character creation. So when you're brainstorming up a character, you have some options. You can be almost anything, which is pretty exciting, but also sometimes it can be a little bit sort of overwhelming. It's like when you have so many choices, it's like, I don't know what to choose. Some routes that people have taken in the past are, sometimes people like to pretend they like to be a character maybe from a TV show or a movie or a book that they really enjoy. And something that can be really cool is sometimes people pick somebody or something from, maybe they choose a character from a book they really like, but maybe they change it a little bit. I know I used to like sometimes, I've watched movies or I've seen shows or I've read stories where I really like them, but then like in my mind I was like, well, what if maybe this happened? What if maybe this happened? Or what if this was different about a character? And you can maybe pretend to be an existing kind of creation, but you change it a little bit. You change it up a little bit to fit your imagination. I wanted to talk a little bit about, so no matter what you end up being, and I think this comes up a little bit more often when people are making up kind of entirely new kind of creatures, but the best way to get something into the game is to have a story. And what that means is that if you come to me or you come to your game master, your DM, and you say, okay, I want to be a tiger, but I want to be a tiger with wings. Okay, cool. Well, this is a magic pretend game, but most tigers don't have wings. So, how did this tiger get wings? And so the best way to get this into the game is to have some kind of story behind it. So if I say, okay, well, how'd your tiger get wings? If you're just kind of like, I don't know, they just do. Um, I would be a little less inclined to let your character be a tiger with wings. You don't have to have an entire story all around. Sometimes it takes some time to brainstorm things, or maybe something comes to you as you're playing. But I think it can be really, really great if, when you want to get something in the game, you have some kind of story behind it. Because that lets me know that it's part of a bigger thing, part of a bigger sort of story that you want to tell, or that might happen in the game, versus maybe someone being like, man, I'm worried that like we might get stuck falling off a cliff, but if I have wings, I'll never have to worry about falling. Because especially when you're starting out, you might not realize it, but the more kind of backstory that you have, the more that you get to kind of really immerse yourself, really kind of jump into the story. And the fun part is that sometimes when there's some backstory around your character, sometimes that gets included in the game. So, like, for instance, let's say same person comes to me and says, okay, I want to be a tiger, but with wings. And I say, all right, well, how did he get those wings? And instead of just kind of like, oh, they're like, well, maybe these tigers were like in a circus and they wanted to escape because they had like a little baby tiger, and they wanted to make sure they could like raise the tiger in the wild. So they like, and then like a wizard came to the circus, and the wizard like offered them a deal where he said he'd like free them, but like didn't, and then instead like stole the baby tiger and did magical experiments on it, and now they have wings. Okay, cool. That opens up a lot of possible things that might happen in the game. And maybe that, maybe that wizard's gonna come back. Maybe that flying tiger wants to go try to find their parents. But yeah, I'm like, all right, cool. That's a flying tiger. So one of the best ways to get things in the game is kind of have some backstory. When you start playing later on, you have a class. There's more about backstory because I think the takeaway is it's not always just about the powers that your character is going to have, but like the way that your character got these powers, their story around them, because a lot of that's going to end up mattering in the game. Having that backstory, thinking about what your character likes to do all day, how they, how they became who they are. It may not seem like important right away, but the more you play, at least for me, the more it's really fun to kind of get sucked into this different world with all these great, weird, magical details. So, also, I used the word class a minute ago, and in case you're wondering, I have at least one video about what a class is and how your character can get one. And I'm going to make an individual video for each one of the classes and kind of the powers and the skills and the backstory that you would need to, or you would get as you acquire that class. But I don't want to go too much into that for the moment, but there are other videos around to watch if you're not sure exactly what I mean when I say that. So I didn't want this video to be too long. I think that's about all I have at this very moment about brainstorming up different character ideas. And this is all before you even kind of get the paper in front of you. Or, it's as you're making your character. But this is your kind of your preparation. You can take some time, daydream, brainstorm. Maybe pick something from a story that make it the same, make it different. Maybe come up with something all on your own. But these are some of the things you can be thinking about as you are getting ready to create a character in Adventure Survival. If you like this video, fantastic. I've got more kind of on different subjects around the game. Leave a comment below. Let me know if this was helpful, it made sense. If there was something about that didn't make any sense at all, and you're like, Linus, that did not make sense, that was not helpful. Or maybe there's something that I mentioned that you want to hear more about. So leave a comment below, say hey, and hope you enjoy playing Adventure Survival.